What's up, Monster Jam fans? I want to take you behind the scenes a little bit. Let's check out what a driver looks for whenever we first show up. I have not looked at these hits. And the first thing I always want to see is kind of how steep they are. You know, if they're going to give us a lot of air, if they're going to send the front of the truck up higher than the back, if they're a little bit too steeper, and some of the ones that we can kind of get some good speed. So come on and check this out. So far I like this one, the bottom transition of the big one right here. You can see it's got a nice kind of calm transition, but there is kind of a sharp cup at the end. So we should be able to get a lot of throttle off of that hit, and it'll send us pretty far out. And I think the truck will recover in the air and give us plenty of time to slow down the tire rotation to try to level it off and get a nice level landing. This one looks very tame. So if you look at this, we got a ton of kind of calm transition right there at the bottom, not much of a cup at the top. So we can just wail on this one, and it's gonna send us probably with enough pace. Hopefully we'll land between that 8-pack backflip hit and the big transition hit over here as well. So we'll keep rolling over here. Of course, the back sides, haven't looked at this yet. I think this is perfect. So there's not much of a cup in it necessarily, but the good thing is it's sharp enough that if you hit it with enough throttle, if you're wanting to get a wheelie out of it, it's not gonna be too sharp. And so you should be able to hit that with some good pace, but as soon as the front tires hit something like that, you wanna slam that throttle and get the back end up underneath the truck. Oh, this is a good one. Come here, check this out. I really like this hit. I think this one's perfect. The transition at the bottom, again, it's nice and calm, so it's not too abrupt too quickly whenever we hit it, but the cup at the top, probably the second half of that hit, I think the cup is really, really nice in there too. So again, I think we can hit it with some good pace. Thankfully, it's cupped enough to where it's not gonna send me too close to the other trucks. And so I don't roll into Tom Mintz again in Max D Fire like I did a couple weeks ago. Oh, come here, check this out, come on. So I love these step-up hits. I think these are a lot of fun. I think last couple weekends ago in Tampa, this one was way too sharp. And you could tell anytime anyone hit this, everyone was just skying it out, landing on the back, way too aggressive on the trucks. It was unnecessary. They kind of calmed down that first half of the hit really nice. So I think this one's still gonna probably land us on the back tires, maybe not quite the wheelie bar, but I really like this one. And I'm eyeing this for skills. Check this out. So I like how this one is. Jim Kohler is going to hit this one hard. I know he is because it is sharp. That one right there is more like a jammer. That one will definitely land on the wheelie bar. But for skills, I like checking this kind of kicker at the top of the jammer up a little bit, because in skills, I like to kind of give that a nice little pop, try to walk it out all the way to the transition over there. And I think that one's built perfectly. This dirt here in Arlington, it's amazing. Texas, where we play, whether it's Houston, Dallas, wherever we end up going, all the dirt is somehow a lot different in each city. This one's almost a little bit more clay-based. If you look at it, it holds a lot of moisture. When we were here in October, it was really slick. We had a pit party beforehand, so a lot of fans were all walking in it, and what happened just kind of packed it down. And then I think the guy in the water truck probably, must have been a little bit too overeager that day as well. And it was ice out here for racing. So we gotta be careful and make sure it's gonna be slick enough. The BKT Generation 3 tires though, those have been my favorite tires to run on, because the nice thing is they still break away and they're a little bit grippy on the outsides, but the cleats and the way that they're made, they will dig right through dirt just like this and give us a ton of traction in racing. I don't think it's going to be tacky, but we're gonna find out today in practice. So let's look at this, the biggest jump on the floor. Let's check this bad boy out. Obviously, it's a little bit intimidating as a driver sometimes when we come out here and we look at this. I mean, from my vantage point where you're looking, you can't even see the landing right here. You have to really walk up to the top of it and get your landing point. I want to walk up to the very top, and I know if I hit it too far to the left, it's going to put me right into that transition hit over there. Where the turn tire is, that little pad of dirt over there on the far right is going to be gone for freestyle. That's where you're going to want to aim for. But I do think the transition right here is really, really good. Enough of a pop at the end. I think you're going to see a lot of big air off of this hit. So I'm pumped. Lastly, let's go look at the Monster Energy backflip ramp. This thing has been an enigma to us as drivers, and I feel like as a brand this year, because in Houston, everybody was over-rotating. Everyone was over-rotating. I think there was one successful, I think it was Rage. I think it was Corey Rummel, of course, because he's the man. In Orlando and Jacksonville, they were perfect. Tampa, they were kind of rough again. So I love the transition at the bottom on this one. I think these trench boxes are so abrupt that we're trying to figure out how to slow the initial rotation off, and that has to do a lot with the speed that you attack it with. But they built these a lot different. That transition on this side is way different than this one. The transition at the bottom of that is a lot sharper. It's a lot more abrupt. So the good news is I think we're going to be able to try a couple things out and really be able to try to perfect how we're building this to give us consistent backflip, so that anytime we go out there in whatever city, we know what to expect. So I'm excited about this. I hope I get to hit it this weekend, all right? Arlington fans, you guys are in for a treat. I love the way this is built. It is aggressive. There's enough hits out here that are calm enough as well. We can get good speed as well. We're gonna get massive air out here, awesome backflips. If you're near Arlington, you need to get out here, all right? But follow along on social media, on all of Monster Jam's social media pages, and you wait, man, because this is gonna be a monstrous weekend.